Betty, thank you so much for joining today. We are so delighted to bring a special demonstration by Stella. John and Catherine are traveling, so I was hosting today, but let me just tell you a little bit about our friend. Stella was born in Bulgaria, and then she spent a few years in Germany before coming to the United States in the 80s. She is an acclaimed artist. She's won international awards. She is a wonderful teacher, instructor, and friend. And not only do we get to see her paint some beautiful daffodils, but we also have a little slideshow of some of her other work, and we get to peek into her beautiful studio. Thank you so much for joining us today, Stella.
Thank you very much, Buffy, for the nice introduction, darling. I'm very happy to be here, and thank you very much for everybody joining us today.
Yes.
I'm delightful, and I'm very thankful for John. And I think those sessions are wonderful because we all learn a lot from them. And I hope many people will subscribe um, to these sessions on Thursday and Fridays. Very informative, and for all of us, for me too. I love to watch it, and I love to see what everybody else to do it. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you. And thank you, Buffy. I love you, darling, and I'm very glad
Mhm.
you're introducing me. Thank you.
I was filled with joy because I got to take a workshop with Stella. So not only getting to meet her at our event, but also to study with her. And I'm so happy that you all get to see her teaching style. And for any of you that would like to join her, she has a special workshop coming up in September, a travel trip, which is so exciting. She's going to be taking her students to Croatia and she has 10 spaces left. Stella, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, it's September from 15th to 22nd in Croatia. It's a wonderful country, beautiful coast of Adriatic coast, wonderful. September is a great month. It will be a plain air and great food, great locations, and I'm sure Besnik knows much about it because it's very close to him there. It's a beautiful place, and I hope you will join me, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun. Paint our hearts out, eat great food, drink a lot of wine, and laugh a lot.
I will join that, Stella. Sorry
Yeah,
for
I
interrupting
would
you.
love you to come
Croatia is amazing, but more amazing than Croatia is Stella.
there.
Of course.
I love you
No.
too, Bethany.
All right. So just
Okay,
Buffy, I'm ready for our PowerPoint slides. Okay, let's
okay.
do this
Thank you, Ethel.
Wonderful.
because
Stella,
we
can you tell
want to
us a bit about?
sure. Mhm. Go ahead, Buffy.
Oh, so here we are with Stella, who is our guest artist today, and you can join us every Friday at 10:30 Pacific time for a different artist. And here are her handles for her Instagram, and it is Stella Canfield, and Stella Canfield at Stella Canfield for her Instagram, and Stella period Canfield for her other
Facebook.
social.
This is Facebook.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Here you can see some of her beautiful paintings. Stella, would you like to tell us a little bit about these paintings?
Oh, very, very shortly. This is the fields of Bulgaria and Angela. That there is the rape in the rape fields in spring in Bulgaria. And this painting is going to be in Bologna without me, unfortunately. The next
Yeah,
one.
fantastic.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, boats. I love boats. I grew up on the Black Sea, so water for me, it's wonderful. And those are the boats in a little 2,000 years old island in Bulgaria. And I love those. I love working boats. I don't like um,
Fancy boats.
leisure boats. I like working boats. They have a lot of stuff and they tell a lot of stories. I love to paint them.
Beautiful.
Oh, this is Florida. My daughter moved to Florida from all states, would you believe it? And but I just love the beaches. It's all the way up north in Pensacola, and it's beautiful beaches with one white sand. I love that. So I just painted.
You captured it very nicely. That looks exactly like Florida.
Oh, this was a demo for one of my classes. Northwest, moody, kind of a foggy, rainy day. My favorite Northwest. I miss it. This is a scene from San Diego. And very, very loosely painted. I like that. And of course, as all you know, I love color.
Beautiful.
This is a plein air on the beach in Bulgaria, observing two girls under an umbrella. Red. I love red. Chickens. I was 16 years every year in Bulgaria, so those are chickens and poppies. Poppies is one of my favorite flowers. I love poppies. Whenever I'm depressed, I paint poppies.
Aw.
They cheer me up. Flowers. Oh, this was on my window and the light was absolutely amazing, so I had to paint it. And still lifes. This plate is a very special for me. A very old student of mine gave me, and it's written on the bottom, so I love this plate, and I paint fruits and vegetables in it.
Stella, your work is so full of energy, and I love that you can see your brush strokes and your mark making. It's just so full of life.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
They look
Yeah.
so delicious. I want to take one and eat one.
Thank you, Angela.
Beautiful.
That's the last artwork on this PowerPoint.
Great. Thank you very much, Ethel. So I appreciate that everybody can see that I don't paint only flowers. Nevertheless, I love to paint flowers.
Stella, while you're painting, is it okay for people to ask questions?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll have Ashley and Anna Marie can maybe help us get some questions from Facebook. And
Okay.
we're so excited to see you bring us some bright and beautiful daffodils.
Thank you. I paint standing. So I decided I will paint daffodils today. Unfortunately, daffodils are not anymore in the store. And so that's why I will have to invent them. I paint flowers only from life or from my head. I do not use flowers and never paint them from a photograph because I believe they're dead on the photograph. They don't inspire me. I love the ambience and the smell and the life of them. So if you ask me today, I like many papers, but usually I use arches and Sanders, Waterford, and the new paper that is very famous now. What is it?
Bahong.
Bauhong.
Bauhong.
Yes, it didn't come to my mind. Obviously, I'm moving into my right brain. And Bauhong, I love Bauhong because it holds the water very long. I very seldom water my paper, but I will do a little on the back, just a little. not much, to keep my edges soft. This is arches, what I'm painting today on. The brushes that I'm using are Escoda. I love Escoda brushes. This is a present I got from Escoda, Escoda Ultimo, and Revolution, and Perla, which I got from few I have from them, from Angela and from Escoda. I also will use Michael Soloveit's brushes, which I love very much. And my favorite Daniel Smith brush of many, many years, probably over 30 years that I use, and still, and this is, I guard it with my life. The colors I'm using are all the colors of my dot card, which is very, very old, and I would change few. Actually, I paint with all of them, and this is, as you see, this is my palette. I have all of these colors in my palette, and also those are the colors of my two master sets that John and Catherine honored me with. So those are all the colors that I have on my palette. My palette is arranged usually from light to dark and from warm and cool. I love color. I wear color. And today I'm going to use mostly Hansa Light, Hansa Yellow Light, Hansa Yellow Medium. This is burnt quinacridone. I finally managed to pronounce it. Quinacridone burnt orange, pyrrole red, carmine. I have some here, quinacridone magenta. I will use a little of that. Oh, in gold, green gold, which is beautiful for spring. I have here some Cascade green. And of course, I will use all of my blues, cerulean, cobalt, ultramarine, and I have here Indian Throne and Moonglow. I love Moonglow. I have a little of lavender here. I won't use them all, but that is my standard palette that I always have. What I love on Daniel Smith colors are that they are healthy, and that is a very important thing to me to use. I love granulated colors. I love opaque colors. I love them all because I do believe the contrast among all of them, transparent, opaque, non-granulating, granulating, all of this gives me a lot of interest. I love to have interest and movement in my paintings, and that is what Daniel Smith colors provide me perfectly with. I lived for many years north of Seattle on Whidbey Island, and of course I always painted with Daniel Smith colors, and I love them. Okay, so like I said, I don't have daffodils to look at, but I love them. I know them. I will start with, the one thing that I usually do, I divide my paper just with a cross to know where my center of my painting is and how I position my shapes. I do not paint anything else, but I paint shapes. So that is for me the most important thing for me is how I place the shapes, because I don't paint flowers, I paint a rectangular. So that is for me. In one rule of mine, like my friend Jan Min from Holland showed that wonderful book, Secrets. What was it? Simple Secrets of Watercolor Painting. One rule, change. For me, change is the most wonderful thing in life, just like in painting, just like in anything. Change brings wonderful stuff. So I will start painting, and I will paint them in a vase. So like I said, I don't do anything else, but I paint shapes. So here are my shapes, and the most important thing for me when I start painting them is to connect them. That is one of the principles of design is unity, and I try to unite my painting from the very beginning. That is the most important thing. And again, shapes. Those are only shapes. So that I'm starting with the shapes. I want to connect them. And where am I putting them? The important thing for me also when I do this is to where am I positioning them? I do not like to position them on the same vertical, and I do not want to position them on the same horizontal. So those are, since I have them here, then I will position one that I will have to go out of my paper inside here. And a lot of this, because this gives me a lot of connections, which I will later use very much for. So this is where I'm positioning my my daffodils. Of course, I started with cool. My palette is one of the characteristic of colors, which it's very important for me, is cool and warm. So this is, daffodils have a lot of warm. They're not only cool, they have a lot of warm, and I will do a lot of warm into them, because that is, for me, at this point of my painting, if all my students would know, I make a lot of mess, because that is a very important for me, how to start loosely, to express only my feelings about, put a lot of color in there, and then start working further. I will put among the daffodils some blue flowers, because spring has a lot of blue that will give me to the, also I use it because this is wonderful complement to daffodils, to the yellow. So I will use that, and of course that among the blues, among the yellow, a lot of it.
For
So
those
Stella, when you, sorry, can I
yeah.
speak?
No, yeah.
Stella, I have this doubt. When you start a painting, do you have the idea more or less of the finished painting before you start? Do you imagine what it will look like at the end? Or you just improvise a little bit and move with the flow?
I do a lot of intuitive painting, but yes, I do visualize what I'm doing, and especially when I start working, I'm looking, and the important thing for me is always how I position them on the paper. So that is what I'm looking for, just like a house. It's location, location, location. So how am I positioning them? And yeah, not I do have an idea what I'm doing, um, but I don't have a totally clear idea. Many years ago, one of my favorite teacher is Milford Zorns. I don't know if you know Milford Zorns. He was California watercolorist, a wonderful man who died 100 years old, and did a demo on his 100th birthday for Northwest Watercolor Society.
Wow.
Many years ago, he told me something that I can never forget. He said, Stella, let the painting tell you. And at that time, I was, when I met him first, many years ago, I was a very young artist. And I was saying, oh, yeah, yes, but it doesn't tell me anything. After years of painting, today, it tells me a lot of things, because when I start looking at the painting, I do have an idea, but I let the paint tell me, and the shapes. And
You are very strong in composition. Your compositions are so strong, and you are very much guided by composition, right?
yes, definitely. That is absolutely what is very important for me. Is the composition, because it's just like a, you know, a house. When you buy a house, you always go for location, 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 and that is the important thing for me, the composition. And painting happens at the end of the painting. I always say that it is a scary thing, because I don't know what will happen. And I remember a student of mine telling me, Stella, not only that I worry about myself when I paint, but I worry watching you paint. and, and that is true. It is scary. I mean, it scares me too when I make such a mess. And then what will happen? But I paint for myself. I never painted for anything else than myself. I paint because I have fun doing that. Nothing.
Well, it shows. It shows in your painting.
Nothing
The
else.
joy that you experience is you transmit it, and when we look at it, we can feel that joy.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
It is great fun. I really enjoy.
Something else that Stella offers in her workshops, and maybe Stella, you could also tell us about your home workshops that you do in your home studio. But what I loved about Stella's teaching is that she has you work on your own projects, and then she puts her eyes on it, and she gives you insights into your work, which is so crucial for your own development as a student. So I love her teaching style.
I do not may give copies to my students. No, I want them to do their own thing and have their own references is a very important thing for me, because I do believe that you can never have the feeling of what you're doing if you do not, you know, I remember things. I remember the smell of it. I remember the moment I took a photograph, if I paint from photograph. So that is for me a very important thing, to paint my own vision of things, because that is the emotion. I do believe, as people look at our work, they feel the emotion, they feel what we put there. And I always say to my students, you know, if people do not like my paintings, then we cannot be friends.
Oh, wow.
Because it's to laugh about. But if you think about, Angela, you put your heart there in there, darling. And you know,
So you mean the connection is lacking? The connection with that person is lacking, yeah.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If they didn't feel you, that means that, you know, you didn't make the connection, and so they didn't understand you. That is my students always laugh when I say that, but that is for me the absolute truth, because it's, you know, that is how it is. It's really I put my feelings towards that. I don't paint exactly what it is. I paint the emotion, the feeling of that. Okay, so this is 70% probably done. And what I will do, another thing that I love, cerulean, that is one of my favorite colors. I like the edges of my painting to be totally different in any in color, in value, in anything. So that is what I'm striving to do. And here I like the light in here, but I would love to put something really dark in there, in that corner. So I will make a very, very dark and juicy. I love that juicy color, beautiful dark. And I would like to do it kind of more brownish. I don't like to over mix the colors. I just put them together and let them stay there. And I like them to stay in to mix like a little more red in it. Like to leave them in there. And now I have to be careful because I have to outline some of my daffodils and leave them. And this will be my background. Of course, it will dry way lighter, and have some of this go in there.
You use the negative painting, which I love.
Yes, I love negative painting, and especially when I have to leave a lot of the whites into the in here. But it is also important to work on the edges. So my edges have to.
You're a real intuitive painter, Stella. Do you ever use reference photos?
Yes, I do when I paint in the studio, but not with flowers. Flowers I do not ever paint from photos, no.
Okay, thank you.
For
Stella,
me,
Stella, there's
yeah.
some interest in your workshop in Croatia, and then also any other offerings you may have. What is your website, or where can people learn more about your taking classes with you?
It's on my web pages. On my web pages, I have everything about my workshops and Croatia.
So
It's
Instagram
posted in the
and
comments.
thank you. Wonderful. Ashley, thank you for putting those links in. Thank
bet.
you.
We have a quick question on the Facebook side from Judy, and she's wondering, Stella, do you usually work flat? I usually work flat and occasionally a very slight incline. Thank you.
No, I don't work always flat. It depends how, if like in the workshop that Buffy was with me, I had to paint vertical because of this class to be able to see. But for this demo, I have to paint
Flat, yeah.
because of the camera to see. So it depends. It depends how.
What would be your preference if you did not have to worry about the tech? What would you prefer to paint?
I don't have any preference. I can paint both
But we
ways.
know you love to paint standing, yes?
Oh, standing. Oh, yeah, definitely. I cannot paint sitting.
Sitting down. Mhm.
No,
Thank
I
you.
can't. I do believe that the energy when you paint standing, it's way better.
Stella,
Yes.
I love the things that you did till now. I really love what you're doing.
Thank you, Besnik.
I have a question. Which of
Yes.
the series of Daniel Smith are your favorite ones? Like Quinacridons, Lunars, or Talos?
Oh, the colors. I love the quinacridons. I love the lunars. I don't use a lot of grays. Look at me. I paint a lot of color, so that's just. But the quinacridons, I love the. Oh, now I am in my left brain, and my gosh.
Maybe you also love pyrroles as well. Pyrrole red,
I
pyrrole
love
orange.
the pyrroles. I love the pyrroles. Yes, pyrroles give me a lot of beautiful colors. Yes, I love the pyrrole. I mean, there is not a color, unfortunately, that I don't love, which is really bad, because but I don't paint with a lot of different colors. When I start painting, I use a lot of my blues. I love my blues. Like I said, cerulean is one of my very, very favorites.
It's amazing how this dark has really defined and all the flowers pop now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still in the process because there will be a lot of more. Yeah, the negative painting is
Fabulous, yeah.
Like I said, my paintings happen at the very end of my.
You still have 25 minutes, so You're
Okay.
very good. You're doing very, very good on time.
And so I paint fast. I mean,
Very
not
fast, very fast. Yeah.
I
You can do another one.
I always paint fast.
We
Sandra, I
have a
think it's
lovely
Sandra is saying another one.
we have a lovely comment on Facebook from Jose saying it's always such a pleasure to watch Stella paint and listen to all the wisdom she shares. Amazing.
Oh,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you very much. The most important thing for me is to have fun, guys. That is what painting is about. Nothing more than that. Fun. Okay, do we want a vase? I seldom paint vase, which is really funny. I seldom paint vase, but I don't know how today I decided I will make a vase. Okay, here's a vase.
There we go.
That's it.
Brilliant.
That's
Very difficult.
it.
Oh my, it's beautiful.
There's so many beautiful comments about your use of color, and because of the Daniel Smith sets, it's called the Stella Canfield Master Set 1 and 2. You could actually get these colors. So we don't always have that option with all of our demonstrators. So that's wonderful that Daniel Smith offers that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so it's about time to kind of bring the daffodils, whatever they are. Sometimes they don't turn like daffodils, but I never care what they are. I believe they do feel like daffodils. Okay, so I think this is quite done. I feel like it's here, it's like ends until here, so I will darken a little more this side into here. So I would like to bring more of, yes, that's I like that. And so like I said, one rule of painting, that is, I wanted to be different here and here and here and here, because that is what brings the interest for the painting. It's not that much, it's not that much what the painting is for me. It is way more the energy and the emotion that is there. So that is what I really like to paint. And
Stella, I remember you mentioned, I think your previous, I don't know if it was your previous time here, but you mentioned about the four corners.
yes,
Would you mind explaining a little bit again about that?
yes, that is exactly what I'm saying, Angela. For me, that is the importance is to have the different colors, different colors, different shape. When we paint positively, we always create a negative shape. So that is for me the importance of that is to those negative shapes. It's not the flowers the most important thing. It's important how I create these shapes, because that brings interest to the painting. And so that is why I always talk about the different corners, darling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Stella, I also have one that you taught in your workshop that I think is worth sharing with the group that will probably stick with me forever. And she said, darling, don't paint the fleas, paint the dog, then paint the fleas. Can you talk about that?
that, That was a teacher of mine. I remember so many teachers of mine, and I studied with a lot of teachers. And there was, I believe this was Arne Westerman, who unfortunately is not among us. I studied a lot with the old guys, who that is what they really taught me. Not what I paint, but the energy and the shapes and the 7 elements. That is what the most important thing is. That is everything we have in our disposal when we paint a painting. We have 7 elements of design. And as everybody knows of my students, I am very big on that. And not many people paint this. It's amazing how these days they don't teach about a lot of them. For me, they are very, very important. Those are line, value, which is light, the most important thing, because we paint light. We actually are liars, because we put something on 2-dimensional surface, and then from the shapes we invent form. So this is a totally illusion we are creating. And that is for me how I'm looking into it. This here, this flower here, I like to push back. So I will put it really, and maybe I need to wait a little more so that I can glaze it, but that is okay. I can glaze it here because I want this flower to be back in there. This flowers also, it will go more towards the back. This here doesn't need to be so, and especially this is also back in there. So I will soften those edges, and this flower, yes, some edges. Okay, so now I'm ready to go and give more form and the less details of the painting. And yes, for me, painting happens at the very end. So the very end, I would like to bring this up. So for now, I am pretty much done with my shapes. I'm in a hurry, but that's fine. Yeah.
We had a question on Facebook concerning the face. Sylvia says, "Beautiful flowers, Stella. Do people still use a hand mirror to check the symmetry of the vase?"
Yeah.
This helps me so much as my vase shapes, to get my vase shapes correct. Thank you.
What was the question? To see the vase?
Do people still use a hand mirror to reflect to see the symmetry of the vase?
The symmetry. Oh, I escape symmetry as much as I possibly can. I don't think about the symmetry of the vase. I see where it is in the color, but where is the symmetry? I don't understand exactly, Sylvie, what you're saying, darling.
I think the question is how to get the vase so that it looks symmetrical and not
Some people use a hand mirror. For example, I saw David Taylor use one. He looked with the mirror. I don't know if he looked at his painting. I think he turned his back, look in the mirror to see his painting from the mirror, and then he could see any flaws or any,
yes, Definitely. Now I understand. I do this, and many years ago, Carl O'Connor made us do a smoked glass, and to turn around and watch it. I have it in my own other studio. That is the bad part of having two studios, because I have in my other studio a red piece of plastic, and I look at it and I see my values. For me, value is the most important thing. You have the values right, the painting is right. So do I have my lights and lights? Do I have mid-toned? Do I have darks? That is what is the important thing. So I use, and also a turn around back is not for the symmetry, it's much more for the value and for the design, because I just found out that I need a little more yellow into here, and maybe I will put a little more yellow somewhere back in there, just to suggest something. So that those are things that I see my design. How did I dispose my shapes into uh, the surface of
What
the
you were
paper?
suggesting
Okay.
that also taking a photo can be good.
Yes, very much so. I do that too. Take a photograph, and it really shows you where you are and how. I see right in here that I would like this shape to be connected a little. And you can start getting really picky, which it's not a good thing to do. But I decided I need a little light in there. So, okay, that is really bad. I am to the very end of my painting, and that is where I take, and that is the greatest fun. Where did I put that brush now? I showed you. Here it is. My Daniel Smith years ago. And so I'm going to play like the children play, and that is one of my very, very favorite thing to do. So I will outline few things. I will make few hard edges, because for me, hard edges happen at the very end, not at the beginning of the painting. So this is, and I will do, this is with a little cerulean, but I also will change color. This is my greatest pleasure of the end of the painting, to go and do little things that I do believe bring a lot of energy. So this is a little calligraphy, and I'm not, this is the fleece bag. Oops. That is the fleece, darling Buffy. And
The fleece of the dog.
the
Yes.
fleece of the dog, first the dog. And I had a teacher, wonderful lady, Judy Betts, who reminds me now when I dropped my brush, who, because I used to splash and do a lot of things on my paintings, and she would say, Stella, did you drop your brush on your painting?
Very subtle.
Very subtle. So that is exactly what I did. I did drop my brush on my painting. Okay, so I think this is plenty of play in there, and that is, of course, I have to smack on my hands and say that's enough, Stella, and have to put some more of this into the, and because it's still very wet, it's going to spread, and that's.
Now imagine taking those paintings that we don't know how to finish and then applying what we've seen today, and just go Canfield on it, right? Just pull a Stella and just paint
Yes.
fold and put the fleas on the dog, right? Those things we're
Yeah,
so scared to do.
that's
Um,
right. It
Stella
is scary.
teaches us to be free and a little wild even on our paintings. I love it.
Yeah. Yes, it is. We have to be a little wild. What is life about if we do not get a little wild, guys, especially for you young people?
Go Canfield. You have to
you are
Canfield.
you are
You have
young
to,
too, Stella.
yeah.
What you say, Besnik?
You are also young.
I am young. Yes, I'm 39 and few hundred months.
That's okay.
Forever young.
Forever young. Yes, I know. Yes. And actually, if you see my colors are, I don't know if you see here. Do you see here? There are a lot more
More
colors.
to the right. More to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
beautiful.
There
yeah.
are much more colors around here when
Can you bring the painting down, please? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It looks fantastic, your painting.
It does.
Oh,
Amazing.
Very
Stella,
beautiful.
it's
Thank
so
you.
beautiful, and I love the color, the blue. You find the blue everywhere, and you find the yellow everywhere, and
Yeah,
it's
beautiful.
just a very smart color combination on that
Thank you.
picture. I love it.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. I love your paintings, guys. I love everybody, but unfortunately, I have to paint like myself. I am stuck with myself. That's is really, and we
And
all
we,
are because we worry so much. Do you know the book, the art spirit? Have you
no,
know
No.
that? Oh gosh,
art,
you have to have that book. And
the
Who
art
is it
spirit.
by?
Henry, oh my gosh,
Robert,
I'm in my right brain. Don't ask me about names.
Robert Henry.
Robert Henry. And what he says, guys, what he says is whatever you do, don't worry about your style because you're stuck with it. So I'm stuck with
Last
it.
time, Stella, you mentioned the book and I bought it. And if you guys like art quotes, oh my goodness, this book is full of nuggets,
Oh,
just
This
every
one?
nuggets.
This
The
one?
art, yes, The Art Spirit by Robert Henry.
Wow.
The art spirit. Okay.
That's
You
funny.
have
I
to
also
look
bought
on
the book on her
that book
recommendation. Thank you, Stella.
should be,
Yep.
this is like, for me, it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful book to, in the evening before I go to bed, just to open it and just have a page. You don't need to read the whole book, but just page it. And in every page, there is something significant.
Mhm.
I will stop, guys, because I believe I
It
will.
looks wonderful.
Beautiful, beautiful, Stella.
Thank you. Thank you,
Wow.
guys.
I love it because if it were any more defined, it would lose so much of its qualities of beauty.
Thank
It's
you.
really wonderful.
For me, flowers need to be free and to get out of the page and to
Yeah.
have the energy and the movement in that. I do not like to define them too much because they become stiff for me. But you know, it's only me. Don't take it seriously, guys. That is my way, but the highway for me. So that is how
Listen,
I.
Stella.
It's
Stella,
so
is the
abstract.
painting wet still? Can you
Oh,
put it
very.
vertical?
Yes.
No, you
Yes.
cannot put it vertical,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yes. I can. And if
To put
if
it,
it, yeah,
yeah.
it is very wet. I start.
Ah,
I
Yes.
fantastic.
start painting.
Beautiful.
I start painting wet and dry, but very soon my whole painting is totally wet. So you see that it's very wet. But I started painting dry. So I never paint wet and wet or any, I don't kind of formulate it. I just start painting, that's it.
And we
It's
I love
wonderful.
I love the looseness of it. It's beautiful.
and we can see the 7 elements.
And
of-
Stella, I always say in art, it gives no good and it gives no bad. It gives just the picture touch my soul or it's not. And this
Yep.
picture touch my soul.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There are no limits. There are no limits to art. So I do believe that we all paint ourselves, and that is for me the
Yes.
most important thing in the message that I always give my students. Do not just copy somebody or just paint yourself. And the most important thing is to paint from your own references. Do not paint from things from magazines or wherever it is, because you don't have any emotional contact with that. For me,
Yeah.
and I love to paint plein air, and that's what we're going to do in Cookville workshop on Whidbey Island in July and in Croatia in September. Paint plein air. When you're outside, all your senses feel it. You smell it, you see it, you touch it, you are all in there, and that emotion
Yes.
you cannot get from photograph or from something, especially if you don't photograph. If you took it yourself, of course, because you remember that. You remember the place. Even 10 years ago, I painted something recently. Oh, it came to my mind, and I was wondering, how did I remember that? I do.
Yeah.
It's in your heart and in
It's
your
stored in
mind.
your mind. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Well, like today, you painted from your heart, not from a reference.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How I usually paint flowers.
Yeah, beautiful work, Stella. There's
Thank
so
you.
many wonderful comments, not only about your painting style and all the wisdom you shared, but also about your contagious personality and how you just brought us so much color and joy today, Stella. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
Enjoy
you
you.
so
the
much.
weather in
Thank
Yes.
you very
Canfield. Life is
Thank you,
beautiful.
Stella.
Thank you, Stella, for
Thank
this
you, Stella.
demo.
Thank you. Thank you,
you.
Stella.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Amazing
Okay.
experience.
Thanks, Stella.
Thank
See
you,
you,
Stella.
everyone, very soon.
Thank you. And
Thank
thank you,
you. See you in
Basti.
Bologna. See you in Bologna.
See
Bye.
you.
Bye
Hey,
Have a
Bye-bye.
wonderful
bye.
weekend.
good seeing